Hello and welcome to today's stimulus news and update report. Today is March the 17th. Welcome in, entrepreneurs, small business owners, nonprofits. This is important information for you all so that you can get a financial lifeline for your businesses. Welcome. This is She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Alrighty. If you are new here, let us know in the comments who you are, where you're from, what is your business. We want to know about it. So I'm going to be talking about the new information regarding the signing of the $1.5 trillion bill, new updates regarding the EIDL loan program for all of you all that have EIDL loans out there. There's important information regarding the deferments. We're going to be talking about the Ertc, child care stabilization programs, and other grants that you can apply for your small business. So as always, do make sure that you give this a like or a thumbs up wherever you're tuning in from. We appreciate it because more entrepreneurs and small business owners can see this important information. Do share out to your peers, tag them if you need to, if you know that there's important information that they need to be able to see or hear. We appreciate that. We appreciate your continued support with these updates because it's still an important time. We're more than 2 years into this pandemic. There's still businesses that are experiencing some challenges, especially with inflation, with supply chain issues. So we want to make sure that you get the information that you need to take action on behalf of your business. As always, you will find resources pinned. They are in the show notes in the description of this video where the text is. We also drop additional information and resources in the comments after this broadcast ends. So you make sure that you have all the information you need. I will also allow time for Q&A. So if you have any particular questions, please drop them. I will try to get to as many as I can on air, and then I will follow up after this broadcast to answer your pertinent questions because we get questions every single day, hundreds of them across our various platforms, emails, phone calls. So we try to keep up with them as much as we can and be responsive. So the first thing that I want to talk about is we know that the Congress had been mulling over back and forth negotiations over this spending bill, right, that ended up at $1.5 trillion spending package, right? It started way back when at $3 trillion dollars, which would have had a lot more benefits in there for small business owners. I know that there was a big push to include around $22 billion in additional COVID relief. And then it was trying to get it in there around the $15 billion mark, but it did not make it in the bill, sadly. But there are still advocates, still members of Congress that are still pushing for more relief for the small business community. They were also trying to see if they could get more of the restaurant revitalization fund extension in there. So that did not happen. So, but again, there are still bills that are being pushed forward to try to get more relief for those restaurants. I really don't understand why they have not provided more relief because the program was underfunded in the beginning. You still have all those restaurant applicants that need relief that were counting on that money that just did not get it. And it wasn't because their application was not qualified or incorrect. It's because the program was underfunded. There were restaurants that were approved, got their approval letters, then it was rescinded because of ongoing litigations. I mean, how terrible and devastating for that restaurant that was expecting that money, right? So we as business owners have to continue to use our voice and our power to make sure that they provide the relief that we need. Now, I know that they continue to push for an extension of EIDL, right? An extension of EIDL program similar to PPP, more grant funding for small businesses. So I will keep you all posted on that. I mean, I'm very disappointed that there was not additional relief in this particular bill, but that does not mean there won't be other bills. They're still pushing, right? Just didn't make it into this bill. But the fact is that we're more than 2 years into this and businesses still need relief. There's some businesses that never got any relief, right? Never got access to any of the federal programs that were made available. So again, I will keep you posted on that. And so that is my lead into like the biggest update for today is regarding the EIDL program. So the COVID EIDL program we know is one of the most popular programs that came out of the CARES Act that has helped millions and millions of small businesses, whether you receive the grant or the loan. So this is regarding the loan. So all of you, if you have the SBA COVID EIDL loan, because they have different EIDL programs, COVID EIDL loan, let me know in the comments. So we know with this loan that there are a lot of industry advocates that are pushing to make this loan forgivable. So many of you all keep asking me, is this forgivable? No, it's not. At least not yet. But again, there's still a push to be able to do it. Now, there have been many changes to this program regarding the loans as far as borrowers. So when they first made the change, they extended the deferment for 12 months. What that means is all of you borrowers, you didn't have to start paying at your initial date that you were expected to start paying your monthly payments, right? Back to the SBA on your SBA loan. Then they took it a step further and they pushed it out to 24 months, giving you a full 2 years to utilize this money, the funds that you receive, and make that money work for you. Well, now again, they have extended it again. So instead of the 24 months, they have extended it to 30 months. 30 months that you do not have to pay it back. Now, that does not mean interest does not accrue, because we know interest does accrue. So you make a strategic decision on behalf of your business. Talk to your financial experts on what you should do regarding your loan. Paying down that interest won't hurt you a bit. But this is giving you a relief. They know that businesses still need help, and they don't want you to be burdened by having to pay this loan back right away. So now they're giving you 30 months to be able to, before you have to start paying it back. So that's what deferment means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up on my screen so I can review some of the important information that came out in the announcement. This is official from the SBA. You can see here, SBA announcement announces key policy change existing COVID economic injury disaster loan program. Borrowers to receive additional deferment. Okay, so if we scroll down here, I'm going to scroll down just to talk about some of the key information regarding the deferment. So this deferment extension is effective for all COVID loans that were approved in either 2020, 2021, or 2022. Okay, so any of these 3 years that you got approved for a loan, it would apply to those loans. So loans now have a total of 30 months deferment from the date of the note, the origination date of your loan. You all should know that information, but unfortunately, too many times people contact me and they don't know their information. You should keep every record related to your loans and your grants that you are receiving. That when you sign that paperwork, you get a copy of that paperwork. Don't delete it. File it away. So you always have that reference. You know what your application numbers are. You know what your loan numbers are. You know the date that you signed. You know the date that it originated. You know the date that you got the money. All that information is important so you can track the timeline, right? So again, they're saying here that interest will continue to accrue on these loans as well. Borrowers may make partial or full payments during the deferment period, but are not required to. So go ahead if you want to, but you're not required to. Is giving you a little bit more breathing room as far as the use of your money. The SBA recommends using www.pay.gov. That is the website that you use to pay on your loans if you decide that you're going to start paying them back during the deferment period. The SBA will not send you a monthly Form 1201 payment notice. However, the SBA will send a regular payment reminder via email. So that's good for you. Just a reminder that you have a loan out and that eventually, you need to keep that on the forefront of your mind. You will need to start paying that back. And again, you may not get a payment notice, but they're giving you instructions now on how you can pay your bill. And in that reminder, they should also have that information with the website and contact numbers as they usually do. Existing COVID EIDL borrowers can find account balances, payment due dates, and in the SBA Capital Access Financial System. This is CAFS. And learn how to set up your account in the system by logging into the Capital Access Financial System. Okay. And so it has it hyperlinked here. So this is, again, one of the press release, and they have a hyperlink directly to where you need to go at sba.gov. Deferments may result in balloon payments. So deferment will not stop any established pre-authorized debits, which are past or recurring payments on the loan. So the COVID EIDL borrowers with the SBA established PAD must contact the SBA Servicing Center to stop all recurring payments during the extended deferment time. So if you have a recurrent payment, that's what that means. It's already, you know how you set your credit cards or your bills, and you have a recurring payments, automatic payments. Those will not automatically shut off. You need to contact them if you would like that to be shut off. Okay. So COVID EIDL borrowers who have established a PAD through the pay.gov or any other bill pay service are responsible for terminating any recurring payments during the extended deferment time. After the deferment period ends, COVID borrowers will be required to make regular principal and interest payments beginning 30 months from the date of your note. So again, that's why notes are so important. And then they're just saying here some of the things that they have done, some of the improvements or changes that they made, including raising the cap to $2 million, implementing a deferred payment period, establishing a 30-day exclusive window, and expanding the eligible use of funds. So they did that in one of the last changes that they made is extending the use of funds, meaning what you can spend the money on, right? So that has been continued to be a question for small business owners and entrepreneurs, nonprofits who have EIDL loans or EIDL grants. So what do I use the money on? So they're clear about what you are to use the money on. We know it's business related expenses. Okay, operational expenses is not growth capital to expand your business. That is not what it is. It is to help you to be able to recover from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you have any questions related to that, again, this is for borrowers. It is deferred for 30 days. Now, want to talk more about EIDL as well, because the program closed, as we know, but there are still hundreds of thousands of applications in the pipeline that continue to be processed or going through the appeals process. So I just had someone sign up for a EIDL consult yesterday who was denied and is trying to get an appeal. So I'm still accepting one-on-one consults. Again, the spots are limited. So you need to make sure if you do sign up for a consult, a one-on-one, that you do have all your documentation. Be ready, have your technology set up. We meet via Zoom. And I need to see all the documentation related to your application, right? Any denials, the reason for the denial, appeals that have taken place, whether it's the grant, the loan, or both, or if it's a denial of a request for modification, which is for an increase of funds. Okay, so that the link is in the show notes. So use that link. If you know someone that needs help, let them know to use that link as well and book your call so we can help you get access to your funding. Now, you can get an increase as long as you have not reached your max. Understand that every business has a max. Just because the cap is $2 million doesn't mean that your business qualifies for $2 million. There are specific calculations based on the structure of your business and how you file your taxes. Now, the most used formula, and all these formulas can be found on the SBA's website at sba.gov/EIDL, EIDL, in their FAQs. Okay. So the most used calculation is for Schedule C filers, and that where you take your gross 2019 revenues or gross sales, okay, your gross sales, and it would tell you what line on your Schedule C to use your gross sales, then you would subtract any cost of goods expenses, then you would multiply that number by 2. And once you multiply that number by 2, then that will equal your maximum amount. Okay, so they changed the formula when they raised the cap to 500,000. They did not change the formula when they raised it to 2 million. So you had to have qualified for the 2 million before they, before they changed the formula. Okay, so that is the most used formula for Schedule C filers, but everyone is not a Schedule C filer. Okay, so on the FAQs, find your structure and how you file your taxes, and it will tell you exactly what numbers, placeholders to use on your tax return. So you could go right to your tax returns and see what the numbers are and do that calculation. That would determine your max. Because some of you are applying for an increase and you don't qualify simply because you're at your max. You've reached your maximum. So if you reached your maximum, congratulations. You got fully funded. Until they change, if or when they make a change, you have reached your maximum. So make the maximum or optimum use of those funds that have been made available to you. Okay. So again, you have 2 years. So right now we know that there's still maybe a little bit over $100 billion still remaining in the program. So if you are one that still have your application in process and you're concerned about, is there going to be enough money once they get to my application? The answer is most likely yes, right? So, but we know, it says 2 years to request an increase. That, that's as long as funding remains. So I will continue to monitor the program to see what changes, if they expanded, if they or whatever they do, because I know a lot of you are, wanting that. We've been pushing for that to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So if you have any questions regarding EIDL, if you're still in the process, let me know. I'll try to answer some while I'm on air again. I will follow up if I don't get to you, but I know there was a deadline to apply for the to submit a appeal if you were denied your targeted EIDL grant, right? Up to a $10,000 maximum. So hopefully all of you all met that deadline. That's if you have been denied by the time they issued out that official notice. Okay. So by the time they initiated the official notice, so you have an opportunity to still get the targeted EIDL grant and the loan. Now, for the grant, if you're going to appeal, please make sure you meet the top 3 criteria, which means that you are in a low-income community defined by the IRS, that you have the 30% or more decrease in sales in 2020 over 2019, and that you have 300 or less employees, and that's W-2 employees. So if you don't meet that top criteria, really there's no reason to appeal, because you will not get approved. You have most of the top 3 must-haves in order to get that targeted EIDL grant. But I'm pleased to announce that I still get feedback or messages from our peers that they are continuing to get funded, get approved for the loan, get approved for the grant. So I'm happy for that. Okay. But I know there's limited funds with regards to the grant. So let's make sure we act quickly and timely, pay attention to the notice and what they're telling you to do and the time frame they're telling you to do it in. I do want to mention really quickly the 4506T. Someone went out to me again the other day that that 4506T keeps being sent back. So the question is or they keep denying them, right? So it's either one of two things. It's either they don't have it, you sent it, they don't have it. Okay. So I would send it to the email, to the fax, and I would even send it snail mail. 3 different ways to make sure they do it, that they have received it, and confirm it, and confirm that it's in the notes that they have it. The second one, this is probably the biggest reason why they keep rejecting it, is because something is incorrect with your 4506T and how you filled it out. It could be that you're out of border. Like when you print it, you scanned it, everything is not in frame. It could be that you filled out a particular field incorrectly. It has to be 100% correct in order for them to accept it. And I know it's frustrating to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But they will do that. Now, I did a video maybe about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, where in the video, the SBA representative walked through the entire form, field by field by field. And I share that often. So I will drop that also in the comments for you all, so you can see exactly how she's walking through it, what she's saying needs to be in the particular field that you're filling out. So that, and then she goes about borders and how it must be printed and scanned and all that stuff. So you can check against what you've submitted, make those corrections so you don't keep getting denied. Because I know they said that they're only accepting, like you can only appeal once after January, right? So, it's long are gone the days where you can submit like up to 5 appeals. They've narrowed it down to one appeal. So you really have one shot to get these things right. Don't know why they would deny it if it's just an issue with printing or scanning, instead of just telling you what you need to have done and then having you resubmit it within a particular time frame. That to me would make the most sense, but I'm just telling you how the process works so you can get through the process. Okay. So that is the EIDL program. I want to talk about really quickly the employee retention tax credit. And the other program that is still ongoing at the federal level, right? So we know some of those have come to a close. This is one of the biggest ones that is still out there. And I am happy to say, like, we have been helping businesses get access to this credit left and right. We're like up to $3 million at this point, meaning that we have helped businesses of all types with W-2 employees to be able to get access to this employee retention tax credit. This is a refundable payroll tax credit for your business. Okay, where you can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee for your business. So it's very exciting. So we've helped businesses get up to over $3 million in claims. But guess what? There's $400 billion still remaining. That means that this program is still not well known amongst small business owners. They don't know that this is a lifeline, financial lifeline of relief. I mean, the average credit we're seeing coming back is around $260,000. Okay, so I don't know if you would get approved. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to see if you can get approved. The link is in our show notes. Okay, so this is any types of businesses, 500 employees or less. You can qualify for the 2020 credit and or the 2021 credit for your business. If you had or have employees, I know one of the ladies that I'm working with right now, she has like 6 businesses. And she may have between 100 and 200 employees, and she saw my video, right? And she was like, no one told me. I didn't even know this was an option. Like, I need the help. She's running 6 businesses, right? And she's like, I need the help. Like, I'm ready to go. What do I need to do? So I've been working with her to get her business, to get her information in so she can see if she gets approved and for how much she can get approved for each of these businesses, right? Anything is better than zero. I mean, I just talked to yesterday 15 business owners that are in pending status right now. They've been approved. They're waiting. There is waiting on them to sign the paperwork so that they can so our partners can file with the IRS, because it takes the IRS about 7 or 8 months to process it. And you definitely don't want to delay. Okay, we've seen too many times where people delay and then the program is closed or the funding run out. So I'm trying to encourage you all to get your surveys in, apply, see if you qualify, right? You're going to need your payroll reports, your 941 tax forms, You're going to need your PPP information. And when you go to our website, you want to read the important information at the top. That is so important to read. Instructions, so you know exactly what's happening, how it works. This is legitimate, right? So even people that see me that went through the process, that a lot of times they are hesitant. And they're like, this is too good to be true. Is this real? Is this legitimate? And that's all. So I so understand. Okay. This is real. You can Google it. Okay. You can go to the IRS website at irs.gov and you will see employee retention tax credit or employee retention credit. It is a real thing. It was initiated in March of 2020 with PPP, and EIDL is just not as well known. And back then, you could not get this credit and PPP. But guess what? The rules changed. Unfortunately, many, like I spoke to a woman this morning, because I called every single business, right, to see where they are, to answer any questions that they had. And she was nervous because she said her CPA told her that it was not real. Okay. But I give congratulations to her. Why? Because she did her research. Unfortunately, sometimes you may have an accountant or a CPA or tax professional that tell you that is not real. They're misinformed, or that you don't qualify under rules that applied 2 years ago that don't apply today, right? Or they're just too burdened down by tax season and doing what they normally do as part of business that they don't have the time to help you get access to the credit. That's why I'm here. And that's why if there are CPAs or accountants that are watching, let's partner together to help your clients get access to this credit. One thing that I've seen that I don't want to continue to see, especially in underserved communities, the smaller businesses, the most impacted businesses, keep missing out on stimulus relief, especially because of misinformation. And there's a lot of it out there. So I would never present anything to you without investigating. I've been doing this for over 2 years, right? This is real. It may seem too good to be true to find out, yes, you qualify for $100,000 or you qualify for $15,000. This is a refund, payroll refund to you. It is a benefit to you for what you had to go through during the COVID-19 pandemic. Please pay attention, all of you all that were really hard hit, especially restaurant owners. We've helped a lot of restaurant owners, logistics companies, fitness centers, any retail operation, right? We know most retail operations had an impact, right? So you probably 99% chance that you will be approved because there's 3 different ways you can qualify. It's not just based on if you had a decrease in revenues, right? Is if was your business impacted by a government shutdown order due to the COVID-19 pandemic? You know, maybe your business didn't have a decrease in revenue, but it did lose employees. It has supply chain issues. We know right now there's supply chain issues. But if it was related to COVID-19 shutdown orders, you may be able to qualify. So take the survey. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to be able to do that. And I'm here to help you, assist you in making sure you get everything in and that everything goes smoothly. You have an account rep that also a great team of experts that will help you get access to your claim. Okay, so you can expect like a bonus at the end of the year. I'm so glad to talk to small business owners just to learn about their business and to see what does this being able to get access to this relief mean for their business, right? There's still businesses looking for more relief and how they can get funding for their business. I talked to a chiropractor yesterday. It was so funny. He recognized my voice. He was like, "This is She Boss." Because I think he was going to hang up on me, but he noticed my voice, right? And then he was like, "Yes." And they were so appreciative that I called them to follow up with them and make sure that they were taken care of, make sure their questions were answered. So I am happy to do that. But if you know business owners, your churches may qualify for this, nonprofits can qualify for this. for-profits, if they have W-2 employees, they might on payroll. So I had a few people that didn't qualify because they never put their people on payroll. So if you don't have your people on payroll, now's the time to put your people on payroll. You're supposed to do that anyway, right? And you can suffer penalties for not doing that, but you're also missing out on opportunities that you would have otherwise qualified for had you had your employees on payroll. It's not enough to say you paying somebody under the table. Like somebody asked me the other day, I'm hiring. Are you paying under the table? No. I pay above board. I run a business, a legitimate business. Okay. So no, I don't pay under the table. I pay my taxes like everybody else, right? But don't duck and dodge, things that is regular part of being a business owner, because you're going to miss out on many opportunities. I've just seen it too many times during the pandemic that too many business owners were not able to take advantage simply because they were not set up properly in their business. They were not organized in their business. Okay. So that is the employee retention tax credit that is available. When you go to the doctor, when you go to your eye appointment, you go get your back taken care of, you go to the dentist, you go to work out at your favorite fitness center, talk to them, ask them, did you get stimulus relief? Do you know about this credit? Share this video with them, tag them if they're on social media, right? There's a lot of businesses, their business pages are following us, right? So let them know that one small thing, sharing information, can make such a huge impact on a business. We're saving businesses here, which meaning we are saving lives. Business owners have lives. They have families. They have food they need to put on the table. They have houses they need to keep a roof over their heads and their families' heads, right? Because we know business owners, most of them don't even pay themselves out of their business. They're trying to pay their staff, right? They're trying to keep their employees on staff and keep them paid, right? So they can continue operating. We're such selfless human beings. I can't tell you how many business owners don't even pay themselves, but you should. So I would encourage you to pay yourself, right? Put yourself on payroll or take owner's draw. Talk to your financial professionals, right? But again, I will be continuing to help business owners for the next 2 years, or until the money runs out, right? And we know the IRS is already backlogged. We don't want them to get much more backlog. So that's why time is of the essence to get your surveys in so you can see if you qualify, and let's get you your claims, okay? That you are due, you are deserving of, you are entitled to according to the IRS. Now, really quickly, the child care stabilization grants, just want to remind you, I was doing some more research on it this morning. So there's a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars being dedicated, put out for child care providers. So I just want to remind you, if you're a child care provider, please reach out to your child and family services department. They're the ones that are really implementing, rolling out the grants that are available to you. There's like a one-time bonus and then a grant. I do know there can be restrictive, and you need to report on the use of your grant funds. But I mean, I was talking to one of my peers who has a child care center, and she's been able to take advantage of a lot of opportunities. Okay. And you're getting grants not only for you, but to help offset the cost of your customers, right? Those parents that have children that they're bringing to your daycare. So to help them offset those costs. So you can give them grants, right? To get your relief. They're giving you grants to give grants to your customers. Okay. So if you've been able to take advantage, if you got the child care stabilization grant, let me know. If you're a child care provider, let me know as well. I said before that many more states, I know Ohio, I think they put like over 600 million towards child care providers and child services types of grants here in Ohio. We are not the only state. I know another state, I don't know if it was North Carolina, had given out like over 300 million at this point. So I'm glad to see that many of you are taking advantage of these grants. That's why they are there. And then as they run out, other states are starting to actually pass their own bills and fund from state money. So they're adding millions more to the pot. I do know that there are non-related block grants anyway. So you definitely want to get connected so you can take advantage of and seek out other opportunities as well, because definitely there's some really good states out here that are advocates for small business, and they're really putting out the stops to get small businesses the relief that they need. Some states are better than others. So that is the Child Care Stabilization Grant. Go and get your money. I know that is a $49 billion program that has been divided amongst the states. Ppp Forgiveness, just to remind you that if you were not fully approved for your Ppp Forgiveness, please make sure that you are appealing. Submit your appeal. Know the reason why they denied you. They will give you a letter. Hopefully they did, right? Hopefully your lender did or the SBA did, but you have 30 days from the date that you get the letter to appeal. And I did mention before, but we always have new people here. The SBA discovered that lenders were not even giving some business owners the option for full forgiveness. Okay, so they are giving you another opportunity to have a second review so that you can possibly get full forgiveness, but you must take action and action quickly. Don't wait. So make sure you're checking your inbox and your spam folders. I can't say this enough because it continues to be an issue, even with us, because we run many programs. We just grant programs, pitch competitions, and emails still seem to be an issue. Please make sure not only are you checking your inbox, your spam folders, and your promo folders, but please double, triple, and quadruple check your emails that you put down on applications, on forms before you hit that submit button. Because I can tell you, even with the ERTC, I had to call 2 business owners. Thankfully, I had their phone numbers. But they put down the wrong address, right? They put a Gmail address with .org at the end. Now, we know Gmail doesn't have .org, it's .com, right? But it was most likely a typo. And sometimes if you're on a mobile device or somewhere, it's transposing the numbers without you knowing about it. But you need to double check it, triple check, and quadruple check, because it may mean that you were approved for something that you no longer get it. You're denied because they just couldn't reach you to give you the money. They could not get correspondence to you. And you may, even those of you working with us on your ERTC credit, if your email is incorrect, they're sending you emails and it's going to bounce back because you provided the incorrect email. I just so happened to catch it when I was looking. But we just sent out announcements for our pitch competition winners from our pitch competition in February. And again, I got a bounce back that the email that was provided is not valid. So now what? Okay, now what? That person may not get the money that they won because they provided the wrong email address, and we can't reach them. Okay, so I don't want that to happen to you because it happens all the time. Otherwise, I would not mention it, and it may seem so simple, but it happens. Okay, so just double check those. Okay, so Ppp Forgiveness. Most of my peers have gotten it. Let me know if you got your Ppp Forgiveness, where you're at. If you were denied partially or fully, let me know as well what you did, and if you're going through the appeals process, because I would like to know how that is going as well. But most of the people I know have gotten it. I can tell you that still, those with under $50,000 in PPP loans still haven't submitted their applications for forgiveness. Please don't think that it's automatic. I don't want you to get a bill in the mail and you're wondering, why do you have a bill that says you need to repay this loan? Because somebody told you it was automatically going to be forgiven, and it's not. You have to apply either through your lender, or if your lender is opted into the SBA's direct portal for loans under $150,000, then you can apply through the SBA portal, which is super simple. It takes 5 minutes. It's super easy. I have not heard anyone that had problems with the SBA's portal and getting forgiveness, and everyone's went really smoothly and really quickly. That's what you want. And then you want to save all of that documentation for your records that you were fully forgiven. You should get correspondence from the SBA as well as your lender. I know that because I received both. Okay. So I know I had to provide that to my bookkeeper, right? So make sure it's tax season that you're properly recording your stimulus, right? All the different stimulus relief that you received. And so I think I forgot to mention this, but let me mention it again, that if you did receive stimulus relief, EIDL, PPP, ERTC, right? SVO, any of these federal stimulus programs are non-taxable. Non-taxable on your federal tax returns. Now, if they're taxable on your state, depends on the state. So that's why you need to talk to your tax professional, because some states, again, are not as helpful as other states, right? So you would have thought the federal government says, oh, these are tax exempt. We're going to all the states are going to make them tax exempt. Well, that is not the case. So just check with your state, but you need to know that for your own personal taxes, right? So again, talk to your professional about that. Just a reminder for those that you need to make sure that you are applying for grants in your state. Your state government, your county government, your city government. We know there's some big grants out there in states. Sometimes they go overlooked, even when we post them, right? And we post them, we say, please tag and share with other people, because those are the ones that go overlooked, right? We have Michigan right now has a grant up to $5 million. How many of you are in Michigan, raise your hand, right? Comment if you're in Michigan. How many of you all have applied for that grant? Do you even know that there's a grant in Michigan, right? Okay, so California has grants. They've been had grants. New York, California has tons of grants. So if you're in California and you haven't gotten a grant or you haven't applied for one, I don't know what to say, because California they have given out a lot of grants, and they still continually have many grant programs and giving out grants to micro businesses. New York is another big one. They constantly have grants and pitch competitions all of the time. We can't list them all. We can't name them all. They're not hard to find, right? So we give you the tips on where to search in your local area. It's just on you to search them. They're there. I'm telling the big states, but they're not the only states that have grant programs. Every state has grants. New Jersey has grants. North Carolina has grants. South Carolina has grants. Texas has grants, although they have not yet issued a state COVID relief grant. I don't know why, but some of these states that are Republican are they're dropping the ball, right? Texas, Florida, I don't know where their state COVID grants are, but in their state, you can find different grants that are available. So with that said, I'm just going to list off some grants. You can also find grants posted to our Facebook wall. We also post grants to our YouTube wall, and we share them to our email list all of the time. There are so many. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have. It doesn't matter what stage of business you are in, what industry you're in. There is a grant for you. And if you missed our Clubhouse session this week on Wednesday, you definitely, if you're on the Clubhouse app, go follow us on Clubhouse and go check out that audio. It was good. I mean, I dropped all the gems in there, and many of you all asked some really great questions, which I appreciate. So these are all helpful to you. It's going to help you in your business. So let me just give you some grants, but first I'm going to shout out Antonia Jackson. She is one of our fellow She Bosses. She has the Accountability Money Box game. I actually donated to her fundraiser. I always talk about crowdfunding is a great way to raise money for your venture or your business. So she had a campaign, but she is a finalist in the National Entrepreneurs Association and Dell Technologies pitch competition. So help me congratulate her. I often, communicate with her, chat with her on what she can do to raise money for this game. Is very needed, right? We need to know more about money. The youth need to know about money. Adults need to know more about money. If we're going to be building wealth, and she has this amazing game. She's been on the news. It's amazing. So wishing her much success on the pitch competition. You can find that and register on Eventbrite. So I encourage you to do that. Like, you all need to be entering pitches. What better way to learn how to do it than to watch a pitch? Watch other businesses pitch, right? You watch Shark Tank, right? Watch those, and then you can find tips on how to improve your own pitch, right? Especially if you're a new business, a new startup, you all should be entering pitch competitions if you are a new business. If you are in idea phase, you have an idea, you should be entering pitch competitions, right? So we share these all the time. We have peers all the time applying for grants, pitch competitions, becoming finalists, winning them, right? So this lets you know that it's possible. If it's possible for them, if it's possible for me, it is possible for you to be able to do it and to be able to win. We have resources, right? I share our friend Precious, the killer pitch master Williams, her resources all the time. She has a book to help you in a workbook, and I dropped the video. I'll drop it in the video again, where she shares so many tips on how to master your pitch. She's helped people win their pitches on Shark Tank. So, I mean, I'm giving you all of the tools, right? Go get our grant cheat sheet, get our master class, join us for our master class not this Saturday, but next Saturday, March the 26th. Seats are almost sold out, right? We just sold out another event. This one is about to sell out. Get in the room. There's nothing like being in one of my live classes, not only having me there, but being surrounded by other entrepreneurs and business owners that are seeking funding themselves, that they are on a mission. They are action takers. So I'm super excited about this class. It most likely will be the only class, at least until next quarter. So if you're ready to get grant money and you want to learn how to get it, join us for that class. Be sure to register. Registration is $99. That is the discounted rate. You do not need a coupon code. You just go to the registration. You click on the activity scheduling, time zone, and then book it. Okay. Citizen Small Business Championship Award is an annual award and grant that they're giving out. I said before, many companies have their own grants, and typically the grants may be for customers and non-customers that are in their region that they serve. So this is open to eligible small businesses. Eligible small business. That's all types of businesses. If you're a small business, you may qualify for this. If you are in Connecticut, DC, Delaware, Florida, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Virginia, and Vermont. That's a lot of states. Entrants must be legal residents of the U.S. Grants are for $10,000. You have until today to apply. And I think the cutoff is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we saw the other day when the Capital One grant came out, it closed the same day. Why? Because they had overwhelming response of applicants. It shuts the system down, right? And then they get so many applicants, then they cut it off. They closed it the same day. That wasn't anticipated. But it tells them what the need is that's out here. So most likely, even though it's closed, they will continue that grant. Most likely they will do what other companies have done, is make it an annual program or a multi-year grant program. So that's why it is still on our grant tracker, because that's typically what happens. So Citizens Bank, you can go get their grant. NAV they started this with giving, I think, 1 grant a year. They have grown it, right? So we launch grants and we grow the fund and we give out more and more grants. And so they have a quarterly grant. They give up to $10,000. This is available for small businesses as well, right? So shoot your shot. Are you a small business? Go to the website, check the eligibility requirements, and apply. The deadline is April the 23rd. So you still have time to apply. April 23rd is the deadline for the NAV grant. Also, there is a Catalyst grant. It's Catalyst 2020. Again, this is another annual grant program, which many of them are for social entrepreneurs. Are you a social entrepreneur using the power of 5G? Right? So they're going to be awarding up to $100,000 in prizes. The deadline for this grant is April 7th. If you ever have any questions, and I know you all do because you put them in the comments, please just go to our tracker, click on the grant, and on the website, it will give you all the information. It will answer all of your questions. Who is this for? Who is it? Who's eligible? What are the requirements? How do I apply? All that information is in the link. Just click it and you should see it there. Another one I want to mention is the Hilton Diversity Advancement Fund. This grant is up as a grant of $10,000 for certified businesses, okay? The deadline is March the 25th. And I said more and more grants are requiring you be certified, right? So certifications are for for-profit businesses, meaning you can be certified as a small business, a woman business, a minority business, Black-owned business, LGBT business, veteran business, disabled business. The list goes on and on. It may be worth it to you to get certified, not only for grants, but to get access to contracts, okay? Because there are literally billions and billions of dollars set aside for small business and underserved businesses, and the pot is about to get bigger because the goal of the Biden administration is to increase all federal contracts by 50% to go to small businesses. So small businesses, you have to be ready. You got to get certified. Like right now, I'm working on my City of Cleveland certification. I'll be following up on that right after this. And next is my state certification and county, at which I can fast track it once this one is in place. So I'm strategic about how I do it because I want to save time, right? So if you want to be certified, go get our masterclass, our MBE certification masterclass. It is in the show notes as well. But again, more and more requiring that you be certified. So if you are certified, you have the potential to get this grant. It is also on our Facebook page as well. And the difference is many people were commenting on it. Like I'm clicking the website. It's not a website. This one is different. You actually email supplier diversity and their email address and let them know you want to apply. And then they will take it from there and let you know what to do next. Okay. So it's an email for that. This is not a grant, but it is important. I'll be sharing more and more accelerated programs because they're just important for small businesses. Can't tell you how many businesses follow us that said that they need help. There is help available. There are so many accelerators, incubator programs, courses, classes that you can take to really level up your business. So Hello Alice is a platform that both of my businesses are on. They support entrepreneurs. They have given out several grants with partnerships with major Fortune 500 companies. And they have a small business boost accelerator. It is a 3-day boot camp for your business to help you increase revenue in 3 days. So many of you are talking about you don't have revenues. I'm struggling with my revenues. If a program can help you get revenues in 3 days, it may be worth it. Now, this is not free. Somebody asked me. Everything is not free. I'm sorry. There are free. There are things that are free, like our YouTube videos that we give a wealth of information. This particular boot camp does come with a cost. It is $3.99 to sign up. It is a 3-day boot camp, and you have until tomorrow to register for this boot camp. Okay. So the program combines proven frameworks, real world applications, expert guidance, peer learning. Peer learning is so good. I appreciated that in the Women's Entrepreneurship Program. This 3-day accelerator is followed by 30 days of virtual mentorship. So they're going to follow it up with 30 days of mentorship. Seats are going fast. So if you're ready to grow your business revenue in 3 days and thereafter, sign up. Okay. So that is also on our Facebook page. Go sign up for that if you want to accelerate your revenue. So this is only a few of the many programs that are available to small businesses. New programs come online all the time. I just before this applied for the citizens. I have there's 10 on my list that I need to get through. I have my own grant tracker that I've kept for the last 2+ years now. And I keep track of every single grant that I apply for. So when I'm updating our tracker for you, I'm also updating my tracker for me on the ones that I qualify for. You will not qualify for every grant. I don't qualify for every grant, but I qualify for a lot. Like there's at least 20 in the last, not even 2 months that I qualified for that I have applied for. And there's still more that I need to apply for. And I have just made it a priority in my business to apply for grant opportunities. And I get better and better and better, right? And these video ones, I get better and better and better. I'm not an expert in video. I get better and better and better. I try to focus on, and in these statements, what is about my story that is going to resonate with somebody? What is it that I'm most proud of my accomplishments and the impact that I'm making in my business? So I give it some thought, right? Give it some thought. Just start brainstorming things, right? Bullet point it. You don't have to have everything right. And then you can then start to formulate your message into answering the questions that they have in the form of statements, right? That's what I did today with the citizens, right? So I have plenty of statements, but I'm like, a lot of this is around community, and that's what I'm building. I'm building a large community here. And so how can I get that message across where it's going to resonate with Citizens Bank and their grant panel so that they choose me? And I'm going in it knowing I'm going to be chosen. I don't care if I'm chosen or not. I'm getting chosen, right? And I'm going to apply as many times as it takes to get chosen. Now, I've applied for this grant. This will be my third time. So hopefully this is it. So I already said, if you don't get it, if first you don't succeed, what? Try and try and try again, right? As long as these grant programs are open, I'm going to continue to apply, because I know I can't get everything in one shot, but I definitely will continue to go for it, and I'm going to get something, right? And it doesn't matter what the amount is. I can tell you the grants that I have received have really made a major impact on my business. And especially being a new startup, I was able to get grants for my well-established business and for She-Boss Talk, which is a new business. We're 2 years old at this point, but we were 1-0, right? We were at the ground zero. And when we first started, we didn't qualify for everything, right? There was a lot less we qualified for because we were just too new, right? So we know new businesses can qualify for pitch competitions because you don't have to be in business. For most pitch competitions, all you need is a good idea that is going to solve a problem and that is going to make an impact on somebody or make an impact on the community, right? So if you are new, go start pitching your business at every level. I just shared all these pitch competitions my peers are entering, and they're becoming finalists, and they're winning them. These are not the only ones. You have pitch competitions, not just national, there's international pitch competitions, and there are ones at your local level. Start pitching, get your business together, know what your business is about, know how to communicate it, have a plan ready so that you can talk about it, so that you can properly communicate what your plan is, so that you can communicate how much money you need and what you need it for. Without that, it's hard for you to be able to qualify for any free money that is out here. You have to nail that down because they're not just giving money to anyone. They want to know that you're serious about your idea, that you are serious about your business. That is who they are giving the money to. Okay. And if you've been impacted by COVID, you need to talk about it. Start sharing your story. That's what they want to hear, is your personal story of how you have overcome the impacts or are overcoming, right? And what challenges you have experienced due to the COVID-19 pandemic, if it is a COVID-19 grant. But there are many grants that are non-COVID related. It does have nothing to do with COVID. It's just about your business. And if they want to give you money because you're just making that great of an impact on your community. So I hope this has been helpful. This is, again, your stimulus news update. As always, continue to go out there, get your money, build up your businesses, get your business in order so you can seize all these amazing opportunities that are out here for your business. Continue to be the boss with Amplify Impact and continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day.